I do want to make one observation. I'm looking at Article 1, page 33. The pagination may be off because we made the technical change to Article 1, but line 14 on page 33 banks $10 million for tolling revenue. And that's the truck tolls. I looked it up. It was 9 years ago, which is really hard to believe. 34 people in this room who are still here now so less than half the chamber were here for that vote. And a couple things I remember about that vote specifically. One, it was debated over the course of the year because the governor, then Governor Raimondo, actually proposed it in 2015 at the end of session, and then Speaker Mattiello held it up, and then it was debated into the following year. What I remember was it also barely passed the threshold because it was a budgetary impacted thing. I think it passed, it was 52 to 21. But the thing I remember most was sitting through Finance Committee hearings and the pain that was going to be felt by local Rhode Islanders, particularly by local Rhode Island businesses, particularly Ocean State Job Lot, not to single out one business, but having just met with them recently, not over this specific issue, over something else, I was reminded of that. And what this body, I won't say we, but what this body did was put into that legislation some pieces, some perks, or whatever you want to term on, use it designed to make it less painful for local businesses and local consumers. As was predicted during the floor debate back in February of 2016, those were unconstitutional. And Judge Smith at the district court in Rhode Island in 2022 now actually ruled the entire act unconstitutional. I think he was correct on that. But in any event, the First Circuit reversed him in part, upheld him in part. But the main point is the issue has been settled. And the things that were put into that bill to make it palatable to our local businesses and residents have been stripped out. I also would point out, I think a lot of people in this room back then only voted for that bill because of those provisions. I don't think the bill would necessarily have had the votes but for those protections. Why do I mention all this? We're booking $10 million in revenue in this budget from tolling revenue, and the presumption is that this will go forward too. My understanding is the toll gantries are not turned on. It's one of the reasons I didn't do an amendment on this. I hope that the governor thinks hard about this and leaves those gantries off. Because if you talk to our small trucking businesses, our small delivery businesses, you talk to the CEO and the people at Job Lot, and you see what these tolling revenues are going to do to them, it's going to devastate a certain segment of our economy. It just is. And that shouldn't cause you to vote for or against this budget, honestly, because it's already existing law. The governor can do it with or without anything we do. But I hope the governor, Mr. Speaker, and his potential successors remember this, and we don't go forward with truck tolling revenue.